Okay, just took the new rig to the store, get a fuck ton of grapes. Sipping not plain fucking water, because why would I drink water? It's not hydrating or nourishing. It doesn't taste like anything. No go. 3 strikes, you're out. Okay, very powerful, important video for me. Along the lines of the Health Freedom for Humanity video, I need to disconnect, I need to cut the tether I have with a specific profession, number of professions probably. I just watched Us for the second time, and the whole concept of tether, fascinating. So that's why that word popped out of my mouth. If you haven't seen Us, highly recommend it. The tether that I have to the profession of chiropractic or even physical therapy. So I want to cut it. I have no tie to it anymore. I don't identify, and not this trendy identify with, I am no longer a chiropractic anything. Not just did I get rid of the title doctor because of 2020 and everybody thought it was funny and powerful and edgy, that no doctors are, no, I was getting rid of the doctor title because I've found there is no truth in the philosophy of what they call chiropractic or whatever is out there. As I don't find a truth in philosophy of a lot of medicines, as I'm claiming and stating, and Cassie is proving, but stay in my world. So I want to cut the tether. I want to cut the connection that I have anything to do with chiropractic or I support chiropractic in any way, shape, or form, because I don't. I'm having a lot of people reaching out as of late, which is why the need for this video for me. There's a lot of practitioners who are in chiropractic sending me patients trying to get to know what I do with people so that they can go ahead and run it in their practice, or they personally are experiencing some things and can't figure it out themselves. So they want to get what I do or understand what it is I do, the system of what I do and the protocols of what I do and how I can speak the way I do. They want to know it all so they can apply it to their practice and benefit their patients. Okay. So let me just start off this. The whole point of me going to chiropractic school was to enhance our work with movement and performance in movement and rehab with movement. We were already doing things that, and when I say we, it was John McNulty, Vladimir Chiguz, and I up at Synergy Fitness and Sports in Illinois. Nobody was touching us. Nobody was doing the things we were doing. And it sounded revolutionary, but even Vladi all along was just like, this is just the way it's been since forever around the world, since the dawn of mankind. So we were already kind of tapping into original principles of what it is to heal in regards to injuries and what it is from a movement standpoint. We were utilizing a tool that has an electrical device, but then that tool got perverted and then everyone was putting all their stock into their healing because of this tool. It'd be like saying you healed because of a 3-pound dumbbell or you healed because of a stone. And that doesn't make much sense. So I saw where that was headed. We were able to explore a lot of the principles in rehab and training, utilizing everything that we were doing. And I wanted to enhance it, thinking that chiropractic was this thing that needed to precede, needed to clear the nervous system so that the body could perform better, this and that. So I went in blind into school just to devour and make better what I was already doing. The other part of this video, I want to go back to the very beginning because my aunt was just in town. And Cassie, her and I were talking about, health and healing and medicine. And we were having this huge, awesome round table. And my aunt very innocently was like, now, did you learn all this at, and she said the name of the school and she said it wrong. She said another name. And we laughed because she did it twice. So it was cool because I would give no credit to that school at all other than realizing what not to do or what's out there, an alarming fact of what's out there. But asked, did I learn this from that school? And I want to be clear about this video. Nothing I am applying to what I do with patients and myself did I learn in an education system. I have 3 degrees, had 3 degrees, bachelor's, master's, and a doctorate of chiropractic. None of which I applied any of it. None of it had anything to do with what I'm doing now other than basic anatomy. This bone is called this system is called this tissue is called this. That's it. Basic exercise physiology, maybe, but again, you can go into the internet and a chimp could learn this stuff. But as far as applicable principles, those institutions were the opposite. So I just wanted to state that now, because there's a lot of people that are like, wow, what are you're saying something that nobody else is saying. Did you learn that at your schools? No, the exact opposite. And when I told my aunt that, she was like, what? Like was baffled, and very sweetly baffled, and it was great. So let me keep going. So then I go to school, and all throughout the school, it's the big idea, the body heals itself, the body is this wondrous creation and made by God, or whatever the fuck you want to say. And it self-heals, self-regenerates, self-adapts to everything. Like, it is so intelligent, so self-healing, and it's so innate and perfect in every way, except for the spine. So the whole gist of the whole thing, I'm like, yeah, I get behind this. This is what we did. We knew this already. I mean, this is like on my body. This is how my body works. How did I know to grow nails, digest food, and repair a cut that I wasn't even aware of? Oh, right, the power inside. But that power is slowed and retarded when it comes to the spine, or you're stuck when it comes to the spine, and you need to be fixed when it comes to the spine. And that just didn't sit well. The whole education didn't sit well that way, but that wasn't the education part of it. That was what we were learning in some of the technique classes and then out of the school. The majority of the education is really bad physical therapy, and physical therapy stands on nothing foundational. Nothing, absolutely nothing, other than the basic science, point at bone, this is what that bone is, this is what that tissue is. But physical therapy is an absolute disaster of a lie. Chiropractic school was a bad physical therapy school, so it was bad of the shit. And then the spin on it that they tried to do that was actually what they claimed was chiropractic was based on the body is self-healing, wondrous, this creation by God, but you're flawed in the tissue of the spine and you need our help. And it never sat with me. And I tried to find ways to spin it, and I tried to find ways to do it, and I tried to find ways to go, this is the only areas I'm going to go to, and it just never made sense. And I kept delaying and delaying and delaying and doing what I do. But it just never made sense. Finally, working with Cassie even, and seeing her prove this in deep medicine with the incurables, with the cancers, with the neurodegenerative disorders, with the autoimmune, with the genetic scenarios. She's got people that will say fevers are intelligent, you know, the body does this intelligent process, all symptoms are healing, but we now need to go balance labs. We now need to go cut this out. We now need to go manage this symptom, which was the healing. So it's the same thing in this case. She just proved medicinally in all levels of medicine what I had in my head already known for quite some time. And then it was finally time to throw my tables away, drop my license, cut the whole thing. But I thought it was enough when I was speaking about it outwardly, but there's still people linking me to this profession, and I want to fucking be free of this thing, just like I wanted to be free of the health free and for humanity fucks. And that's why I had to make that video. And I could have made that video 2 hours long and brought in other people and texts and all this other stuff. We'll leave it. So this is to free me. I am no longer attached to chiropractic in any way, shape, or form. My evolution of everything that I am doing right now in practice was not gained in the institution of chiropractic, was not gained at Fermi University, was not gained in those degrees, was not gained in any certification, license, or degree of any kind. And as I've said, there is no truth in degree, licenses, and certifications of all kind. It's not going to be truthful other than just basic sciences. And you can go online and just get that. But in these institutions, they have to compartmentalize medicine and make it that they're fixing something that's flawed in you. There is no flaw in you. Not ever, ever, ever are you dysfunctional or diseased or flawed. Every response to the body, including the spine, is the intelligent adaptation process. You get in the way of that, you get in the way of healing. And not creating a healing response that a change in 3 months, or a change that only lasts and then everything came back in 3 months. You can get a change in anybody for 3 months doing anything. I mean anything, as we're seeing. You can get a change in anybody to last 3 years. Truth works across the board all the time, but I want to clear it up. Who I am now, what I'm doing now, what I'm applying now has nothing to do with chiropractic or the previous degrees that I had. That school, that institution, that discipline is the antithesis of everything that I'm applying. So for you chiropractors reaching out, wanting to know, here are my patients, work with TJ so we can get his stuff and apply it to my patients there. Or I'm a chiropractor, I do this, that, and the other. I'd love to work and get what you know. Yeah, I know you would. You'd like to apply it to your shit practice so that you can actually have principles that are like resounding in people, 100% truth, while you continue to just peddle the fixing bullshit, saying that the body is amazing and the body is miraculous, except for the spine. Like, you can't have both of those be true. So if you want to work with me as a chiropractor, first step, close your practice. If you want to work with me as a physical therapist, first step, close your practice. Now, there are trainers and yogis and Pilates and all these people that work with me, and they lie because they don't tell me their profession or whatever, and that's fine. And they're going to go ahead and take what we did in the visit, and they're going to try to apply it, and that's great. I hope it changes their life. But here's the problem. Here's the conflict, is if they take what we're doing with the principles that are discussed in a visit, and then they go try to apply it to their patients, in addition to selling all the lies that they've been doing, which is the body is flawed, needs to be fixed, even at the spine level, the fascial level, or the tissue level, or the hormonal level, or whatever level you've got conflict there. And healing needs to start in the practitioner first, and work, and sustainably work, and keep working as we keep evolving and going. So this is me cutting the tether between chiropractic or whatever that is. Now, here's what's going to be upsetting. There's people with millions of dollars in practice and millions of dollars in patients, and they're going to be very upset right now. I would be too, if my entire livelihood was based on something that holds no truth. I'm based on something that is weakening the American public, weakening the European public, weakening the Australian public, weakening the world, having people believe that the human body is flawed, is sick, is dysfunctional, and needs fixed. That's a problem. I'd want to defend that too if I was sitting in a house where that lie provided this house. Yikes. And then you got the other people who used to blow me, following my every word, copy all the programs out of my book, copy all this shit, copy my words, listen to every podcast, copy. Now they're all chiropractors, and they've regurgitated my shit and regurgitated the way I practice and regurgitated all this stuff. Well, now I just threw this at you. It's going to be very interesting to see how they play this one out, because they couldn't take a step forward without listening to what I was going to do next. Now I've thrown them a huge curveball. What do I have to gain from it? I still have student loans based on bullshit that I have to pay off. What do I have to gain from calling this out? I'm not being paid by the anti-chiropractic. And Cassie is applying it to all levels of medicine over there. That's why if medicine carries a name like traditional Chinese medicine, acupuncture, homeotherapy, or homeopathy, functional or integrative, German new medicine, you name it, naturopathic, allopathic, she's finding in her world why all of those underlying are not sitting on a truthful foundation and don't work. They're not true. And so she's able to speak from experience there. I'm able to speak from experience over here. You put the two together, you're covered. So I just wanted that to be very, very, very clear. I am not a chiropractor. I do not support the profession of chiropractic in any way, shape, or form. I'm not a physical therapist. I do not support the concept of physical therapy in any way, shape, or form. I have no label. I have no discipline the things that I am applying in my practice, I apply to me first. 21 years of experimentation, meeting people along the way, the work that Vladi and John McNulty and I did up at Synergy. Some of us moved forward and have expounded upon those principles and have come to truths of our own based on the original truth that we had. But there was no system, there was no machine, there was no tool, there was no anything that is the savior behind the whole deal. But I want to make this very clear. This is my setting me free of this profession, of that period of my life. Not to upset people, not to trigger people. I don't care how people respond, but if they do get upset and do get triggered, maybe see where they're coming from. Or if you are triggered as a practitioner, maybe see where you're coming from on that one. And if you've been following me and you've believed in everything I've set up until this point, it's going to be interesting to see how you guys and girls play this out. What your next move is. And I'm deadly serious as far as chiropractors wanting to work with me, and physical therapists and trainers and functional, like whatever you've got. Same thing with Cassie. You guys try to work with Cassie, try to combine paying for things so you can take her system and as if it was a system and apply it into your bogus practice. There's conflict there, but for you to work with me, the first thing you got to do is close your practice, close everything that you've ever been doing up to this point, because you can't have both stories be true. It doesn't work that way. And you're going to have massive conflict. And if you lie to me, that's cool too. But that's going to be on you. And that's going to come back tenfold, thousandfold, billionfold. All right. Snip, tether, released, clear. Peace.